Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more Motorsport Manager. And this is coming right after a major patch to the game, the biggest addition being mod support through Steam. But there are some other changes outside of that, AI changes and what have you, that we may be seeing from here on out. Now, this is the end of the third season for Predator Racing Group and our worst to best challenge. So we won't see that probably too much effect this season, but maybe in this last race we'll see some AI behavior changes and what have you. And the mod support is something I'll probably look at later down the line. We'll especially not be doing it in this particular series as we started it before that support was available. But in any case, let's go ahead and continue here. There isn't a whole lot left to do with the team. We already have improved the cars as much as they're going to be improved this season. And really, we're just looking to get through to the next season. So let's go ahead and do that. And we'll probably have a pause at this point, and I'll just wrap up the last of the part improvements if we still need them. I could have sworn this said 2 days before. Oh, 2 days before race. Gotcha. All right, well, we'll just continue all the same. Oh, we do have sponsors available. Only one so far, so we're going to have to wait till we get more offers. Another thing that's changed is the marketability of your team. They've changed it so if you're doing better than you're expected to do, your marketability will improve. Something I didn't really see with the Archer BMR series when honestly it should have been happening. With the Predator Racing Group, we haven't really been doing any better than we were expected to do, except for maybe certain particular races. So in theory, we'll see maybe more improvement there per race. In any case, let's just continue until we get the performance work done, and then we're going to... Oh, what's going on here? Okay. I'm going to tell him no. Even though I probably will. We're going to be getting rid of Dior anyway, so I don't really care what his morale is. But Oscar is probably going to be gone after the season because his potential, he's only ever going to be a 2-star mechanic. And, you know, honestly, he's already there. So more than likely, I'll be getting rid of him. A lot of that depends on the cost, though, of things. We have some contracts to renew. Dior will refuse to renew his contract because he has a mood effect that is a rival with teammate, I believe. So as long as Santana's on the team, he is not going to re-sign. So he's not, because we're going to be re-signing Santana for sure. But in any case... yeah, I'm not going to say yeah, because that would fire him immediately. We'd have to rehire a mechanic, and that just makes things complicated when we only have one race left to go. So let's just say no. Let's continue. I don't think that performance work being done really changed anything, because we're already doing full tilt reliability improvements. So we'll just continue with that. Reliability work's now done, so if we really want to, we can improve the last bit of reliability there is to improve. Not that it particularly matters, but why not? Do it anyway. We also have 3 reports here that are all scouts. Factory staff idle. We've changed that. We have 2 sponsor offers. I'm going to wait until the actual race day, where we're going to have a pause anyway. And unfortunately, we just got the 2 offers, so let's take a look at them. So we've got $1 million up front or $350,000 per race. That's actually pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and accept that offer. And it's definitely worth more than the $1 million up front for 10 races, because that's equivalent of $100,000 up front, which is much less than we'll get from this. So obviously this is the better deal. Okay, it's race time. Let's go ahead and continue. We should have our parts already fitted. I didn't take too much of a look at what the race would be like. So we have acceleration, high-speed corners being crucial, and then top speed use being useful. And then we have cloudy weather for both practice and the race. And then we have very low fuel burn, but very high tire wear. I'm going to go with 16th or above because it is the more realistic sponsorship bonus for us. We don't know how these AI changes are going to affect the race. It might make things tougher. On the other hand, it might make things easier. I'm not 100% on that. A lot of it was behavior on how the AI repairs their cars when they need to. And that usually affects things more at the beginning of the season, not the end. So it looks like part fitment is fine. Let's go ahead and race. I'll be skipping over practice as I have done for most of this season, as we're still slated to finish dead last this season. But I'm hoping next season we'll start turning that around, as we'll put more money into the development of our car. But we've also improved our parts overall a little bit more. I'm not going to dump a ton of money into the car, but hopefully this will... Oh, it is raining for practice. Considering the fact that I'm not going to take the practice, I don't really care. Ooh, that's very wet, though. Okay, so we'll be having these two out there. Let's change our setup. So we need more downforce. But I am very pleased that the developers of the game continue to support it. Although they already indicated that they were going to do mod support, so that's not too surprising. To me, anyway. Handling needs to go much stiffer. And we need to go much more towards acceleration, which is going to kind of balance each other out. Let's do that and that. Okay, well, that's going to be as good as it gets. Fine with the tire choice for now. Switch over to Santa Ana. Now, ordinarily, if I was doing this practice myself, I might very well put on wet tires because how wet it's going to get. But we're not doing that, so I'm not going to have to worry about it too much. Maybe that will be okay. We need to go more towards acceleration, and we also need stiffer suspension yet again. So that will be the setup for now. Tire choice intermediates is fine. And let us get the instant result here. Hopefully the AI does a decent job giving us some bonuses. Hopefully that's one of the things that they've changed, because there's sometimes when the AI does your practice, they don't get you any bonuses, which is literally impossible. If you're going out with race trim, you should get something. So hopefully they've changed that, but I'm not sure because they didn't mention it in the patch notes. Okay, so we do have rain to start the race, so that's going to make things challenging. Now we'll be first and third from what I can see out there. Let's see if we got a bonus. Hey, we got at least a little bit of a race trim bonus. And I guess we'll give them the engine expert bonus because the nurse ability is completely pointless when you have 100% reliability, and we'll be taking the risk taker bonus. That's the one reason I do want to kind of keep this mechanic around, because that risk taker bonus is such a good one. Unfortunately, we didn't get our cars on there too well. What is the rain like? It's going to be kind of wet for a little while, but I think intermediates will be... ooh, we have wet tires on there? What does the rest of the grid have? We're the only ones with wet tires. Well, that doesn't sound right. Yeah, we'll be changing that for sure. So let's go to car setup. We need to, first off, not only change the tires, we also need to get make sure our fuel's in there. That's good. Maybe that's one of the bugs they fixed is, well, I don't know if it was a bug, but after the last patch, the one before this one, there were times where your fuel tank would not be fully filled, and you would have to come in and manually do that. I'm hoping they fixed that because it's very easy to forget to check that if everything else is set up correctly. All right, I'm going to go ahead and confirm. And I think we're pretty much good to go. So let's continue. I mean, again, I'm going off of what the grid has. The grid is all using intermediate, so we're not at a disadvantage, even though it's going to get wetter. That's probably going to be wetter than intermediates can handle, but it drops back off pretty quickly, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. So let's go ahead and, as a matter of fact, it's only going to be raining for that initial period, too, so we might be fine with those intermediates for quite a while, but it looks like it's going to take a very long time for the track to dry off, so we'll have to see. Driver strategy-wise, I'm going to go ahead and push because I just assume that temperatures are going to be cooler as far as the tires are concerned, so let's go. All right, so we already know first and third. We're going to be following Dior as long as he's up front. His car, I think, was set up a little bit better, so he might actually do decently, except he lost first position pretty quickly there and is down to third immediately. Santana is in fourth. We are going to change his strategy to allow teammate through. Okay, we'll speed up time here. We'll take Santana, who's now in third, briefly. So much for the let her through strategy. Okay, well, we're just going to let things go. I'm curious to see if the AI will pit with the wetter track conditions. Uh-oh. Alright, Dior just had body contact, so we're going to have to take action here. Unfortunately, he just went around, so that kind of sucks. We'll keep him on the same tires, maybe? No, we'll switch out the tires. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then fuel up. But the big problem, we have to fix this part. We'll make it fast, though. Not too bad. And, you know, while you're out there... Yeah, whatever. I guess that's fine. So, Santana is going to be in 9th. Unfortunately, Dior looks like he's going to be in last place this race because of that body contact. Santana's in 10th. Hopefully she can hold out. This is going to cause a big gap, though, with Dior. Oh, maybe there was some other body contact because I see some other pitting happening here. They got in first, though, so we'll have to see if he can get out before anyone else. It looks like he did, so he's up into 13th. And we're going to be backing off on this tire strategy. Okay, so now we're going to start having drier weather. Oop, that guy is having some problems, it looks like. I'm ignoring him. Because it is drying off as we speak. Alright, we're up into 11th. Everybody else pitted and took intermediates, so... as long as we can stick out on this tire, we'll be okay, I think. Okay, Dior manages to get up into 15th. Let's go ahead and push with his tires. It's going to take quite a while for all this water to dry off, as we can see here. But eventually we're going to want to switch over to dry tires. I don't think these tires are going to last that long, though. Okay, well, we're in 12th and 15th, so that means that we have 16th locked up pretty solidly, as long as there's not a crash or something. It looks like it will be easy to maintain our position. I'm going to try and stay out with Santana on these tires. And until the track dries off a little bit more, hopefully. We'll have to see. I'm going to have to keep an eye on our fuel, obviously. Now, this track is much more wearing on tires than it is on fuel, as we saw at the beginning of the race. So, I might be able to have her go around one more time. It's going to be probably too wet. So, I might pit her now. This might be too late, but I'm going to try for it. We're going to fuel up. Okay, 7 seconds isn't bad. Granted, we were going to be 9 seconds. Pit. This might be a little too last second. Yeah, it's a little too last second. So we're going to have to take it late. I'm going to have to stay on inners here because it's too wet. I was trying to get it in there last second. Unfortunately, a little too last second. And I'm going to be kind of hosed here a little bit. And I don't feel like I can keep her out any longer. Even though fuel will be okay. Another lap and we'll be in a dicey situation, I think. So, she's going to pit. But I'm going to tell her to attack with these tires because I don't think we're going to be on them long. Okay, so we're in 14th and 16th. Now things are a little bit closer for Dior. I'm going to keep an eye on pitting and what people do here. They might pit early, though, and switch over to dry tires before they maybe should. Dior, I'll probably pit at this point. We'll have him pit. Mediums or softs? Mediums or softs? Okay, so we're not going to have... I'm going to go with mediums. Fuel him up. It's like 9 seconds is the more efficient time-wise. Let's go with fast. Let's make sure we got tires on there. Good. Okay, let's pit. And Santana. We'll see. I'll make a decision here somewhat soon on whether or not we're going to pit with her. Other people are pitting, so it's not a real disadvantage to do so. On the other hand, I could fly past those people. Yeah, let's fly past them. It's not going to be much, just a little bit. Now we're going to pit. And I'm going to take softs. Fuel up. Looks like 5 seconds is as good as it's going to get. Well, actually 7 seconds at this point. And we'll pit. So there's a little bit of water on the track. Enough, I think, that these intermediates are going to be okay. But we'll be coming off just as we need to come off. Okay, you can go to a neutral stance. Okay, so we're 19th. And everybody else just pitted. At least the guys that were in front of us. Unfortunately, we didn't catch them. I didn't see what she was commenting on. So we're in 14th. Unfortunately, we just came out into 17th, so we just lost our position. And we're going to lose another position, it looks like. Which is not good, obviously. But we should be out on the freshest tires. There are a number of people in front of us that are still running the intermediates, so we're going to be passing them up into 15th. The car in 13th currently did not pit. So, good news is Dior just got into 16th. Let's take a look at these temperatures here. Push and push, I think, will be adequate. All right, so we're in 15th and 16th. We're breathing down the neck of the guy in 14th. The guy in 13th has to pit here, which we're going to be passing him now. So we're up into 14th. Dior's too far behind to really take advantage of the situation where he is. Okay, things are looking good. We have another pit happen, so we'll be passing into 14th. Oh, no, I think I misread that. Dior passed somebody. So we're 14th, 15th right now. Breathing down the neck of the guy in 13th. His tire life is looking a little poor. Okay, so far so good. Tire temps are still on the cool side, which for a track that eats tires can be problematic. Dior's getting currently lapped, but the cars that are behind him are significantly behind him. Okay, so 14th and 15th we're currently at. Car temps are looking okay here, so I'm going to back off a little bit. Car in 13th is going to be pitting. Not a surprise there. Their tire life is a little bit short now. Okay, so we're going to pass them easily. I'm probably going to have to think about pitting myself, though, here soon. Yeah, let's pit. So we're taking another pair of softs here. We only have 10 laps to go. Softs won't make it. Mediums will. So I'm going to go with mediums here, actually. And then fuel, we can easily fuel up to get enough to get around. It does spend us a little bit more time, but let's go with that. And Dior can stay out a little bit longer. A lot of people in front of us are going to be pitting relatively soon, so whatever we lose here, we might gain, although they're really far ahead of us. Car in 14th is going to pass us for sure. Although we'll just be getting out as they pass. Okay. You could probably go into a neutral strategy at this point. Dior is getting past here, so that's not great news. As I said, these guys are pitting, but they're significantly ahead of us. It's weird how much more spread out the races are compared to the way they were before the patch. Okay, Dior, I think we're going to have a go around the track one more time, and then we'll probably put softs on him. Some more pitting happening, but unfortunately, again, we're very far behind it. Okay, we're going to queue up a pit. I might be able to afford softs here. And then we only need, at this point, 7 laps worth of fuel. And then we'll take the fast here. Now, the one thing I want to take a look at, as far as fuel... No, okay, so we can't get a little bit of extra fuel without costing us any time. That's fine. All right, pit. And we'll go back to Santana here. He does have some excess fuel, but we're not going to waste it just yet. Still a lot of laps to go. Granted, it's only 7 laps, and she's got 9 laps worth of fuel. Let's go ahead and go into a high gear here. As a matter of fact, let's also push the tires a little bit here. And I guess you can push the tires as well. Now, I started to get a little nervous there when I saw this car behind me, but they're the car in 20th, so the car in 15th is clear back here. Okay. Let's go to a neutral position here. We don't need that tire temperature just yet. Okay, we did burn through a lot of that fuel. Still says excess, but I may want to think about backing off here. Alright, so we managed to get up into 18th with Dior. 14th Santana. Tire temps are still on the low end for her. We could probably push with Dior's car as well, because we've got 4 laps and we've got 6 laps worth of fuel. Okay, oh, we're having some rain come in here, although it's minimal. And I highly doubt anyone else will be switching tires at this point of the race. As a matter of fact, they're still sticking on dry tires, so I think we're okay. Alright, temperatures are getting a little bit cool over here, so I'm going to start pushing. Fuel looks okay. It's going to dry off soon, so we're up into 13th at this point. Tire temps are looking okay, so I'm going to back off. We've got 2 more laps to go. And I may start gunning it, although the wet weather might challenge me a little bit with that. I want to wait until the last lap before we really gun it, because I want to know what kind of fuel we have left. It's funny because our car in 13th is almost lapped the car in 15th, so it's very unlikely that Santana will lose that many places. At worst, she'll lose 1. And as long as we keep going here at higher speed, we should be okay. There's the car in first, so that will be... This should be the last lap now, so let us overtake now. I'm going to have to push, though, just for temperature. And Dior has no possibility of getting past here, so I think we're fine to just keep him on what strategy he's on. Oh, no. I am not sure. But Dior has to go around another time. So does Santana. They have changed the way the game works. Okay, well that's fine. We still have excess fuel, so we're not going to suffer here too much. Good that I backed off on the throttle, though, because otherwise we'd be in trouble here. That guy's kind of breathing down my neck a little bit here. Maybe I just misread the situation. Yeah, I misread the situation a little bit. I thought that was our last lap, the one before that one, but we made it around nonetheless. 13th, 15th, and that's not bad. That's probably one of the best overall team performances we had all year. And not the best performance from Santana, though, because I think Santana had a 9th place finish at one point. All right. Okay, so did anybody get demoted? Not that I see, just drive-through penalties and the like. So we're in 13th and 15th here. Looks like that's how it's going to finish. And as far as the driver standings go, it doesn't look like Santana managed to catch Rogers this time around. And we still are in last place, although we did make up a lot of points there close to the end. And I have quite a bit of optimism for next year. If we can have those kind of finishes consistently throughout the year, we'll definitely not finish in 10th place again. So let's go ahead and continue here. Now, the one thing I'm not really sure of is how they calculate your expected finish. Is it based off of how you finished last year, or is it based off of your car performance? Because that's what we saw when we got promoted from the European Racing Series into the Asia Pacific Super Cup with the Archer BMR team. But that might be because we got entered into a new competition. And if we were continuing through, it would have been however we finished. Well, we came in 10th. We were expected to finish in 10th. I'm not exactly how we came in 10th when we finished 13th and 15th. That's something I still think needs fixed, maybe, because this is off of a race-by-race basis. And 13th and 15th is not 10th. That's not last place. But who am I? Maybe half the drivers on the other team all scored more points than both of our combined drivers somehow. Okay. Well, in any case, let's go ahead and continue here. Get our $1 million. And we'll continue. Okay, so there is the Drivers' Championship. And the Team Championship goes to the Ruiz Motorsport, which I believe was one that got demoted. I don't know if it was last year, but one of these years. So they'll be going back up probably. And we are going to be sticking around, obviously. All right, well, there's the end of the season, and this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.